Well, hey, how's it going? It's Andryanna here, and we're in September. What can I say? Welcome. Welcome to this episode of The Juggle is Real. I want to talk about something today that's probably on all of our minds. It's getting into the swing of things, all of the things that have to do with the month of September. So maybe you had some time off over the summer, maybe your kids were home, maybe you're going through the whole back to school process. Maybe you have a little one starting school, or maybe you have a bigger one starting high school or post secondary, or maybe you are wanting to get back into the routines that you know have helped you, whether it be for your self care and well being, or things in your workspace and work life, and just getting back into the groove. I know that routines can sort of be this kind of mixed bag because, on the one hand, once you're in the routine, once you're actually going there and in the flow, it can really bring that sense of calm and that order to things. But on the other hand, getting into the routine can feel challenging, especially when you are out of it. When you are not in the routine, it's kind of like the whole momentum push, right? Like once you get that push into it, once the ship is sailing, you are flowing, things are great. But getting there, it can feel tricky. It can feel more chaotic. It can feel really exhausting just thinking about it. And trust me, I know because I've got three boys running around. I'm working from home. There's a lot of things that can make the routine feel tricky. But here is the thing. Routines, getting into the routine, easing in does not have to be stressful. So today, that's what I want to share with you. Some things that I've learned, some things that make it easier for me, whether it's just, being on vacation and getting back into it, or, that second start of the year, the second new year, if you will, with September, knowing that you're heading into Q4, you might have some goals, you might have some things you want to do. You might just want things to run a little smoother for both yourself, for your family. And so we're going to talk about three main things that I have found really helpful. It's planning ahead, it's getting into the right mindset, and it's remembering your why. I have a couple stories and I want to share some things that are making it better for me because, every time we have to ease back into a routine, we learn new things. So let's dive in. Let's talk about some of the research that might be surprising, but I want you to kind of get into this groove and feel better about it. So you can see the importance of these three things, get into your routine, and then you will be off to the races. So my friend, let's dive right in.
Hey, I'm Andryanna Gonco, and this is the Juggle is Real podcast. As I share my ongoing journey from experiencing burnout to leading a more mindful and intentional life with better balance, I hope you feel seen, that you realize your worth, lighten your load, and prioritize your own needs. As we hear from leading experts and well-known faces in the wellness, entrepreneurship, education, and motherhood space, I hope you gain insights, proven practices, and learn actionable tools to help you enjoy the juggle of work, family, and everything in between with a little less stress and a lot more ease, joy, and fun. Most of all, I hope you find what you need to simplify, streamline, and supercharge your own journey of better balance and self-love. Are you with me? Let's get started.
Okay. Here we are. We are in September. We're in a new month. We're in a new school year. We're in, the end of the year. A lot of things might be coming up for you. And if you really, took that time to pause over the summer, if you spent, some time on holidays, or you had your kids home, or, you eased off of some of your regular routines, whether it be your morning rituals, or, an exercise routine, or simply things that you do at work. It can feel challenging, when you're sort of off the wagon, if you will, but getting back on doesn't have to be hard. And that's what this episode is all about. So before we really dive into the three things that really make it helpful and that I found really support me when it comes to getting back into the routine, I just want you to think about the areas in your life where a routine has been helpful in the past. So it can be like a morning ritual for yourself, a morning routine for your family to get everyone up and out the door smoothly. It can be a routine to have to do with your health and your well-being. So perhaps, a routine with meal planning or with exercise and with getting to the gym or going to those classes that you really enjoy. It can be a dinner time or an evening routine, bedtime routine. I want you to think about when routine has really served a purpose in your life and what was it that you really enjoyed about it? Or what was it that you found really nourishing, really supportive, really helpful in your life? So take a couple of minutes, and if you have a notebook or if you have some spare paper or you're on your phone, you can open up the note section. Just jot down the things that you felt made it really helpful. And once you have a couple things down, it can be something as simple as it eased up your mental load, or it made you feel like you had more time because there was that routine in place, or maybe you found that you were happier or in a better mood, or you could really respond to things in your life from a better place when those inevitable things end up popping up. Whatever it is, take a moment to think about it, write it down. And then I also want you to, on the flip side, I want you to think about why or what made it more challenging when that routine was not in place. So, maybe it can be a past September or a past, getting back from holidays or a past time in your life where things felt like the routines were not in place. And what was that like for you? So I want you to look at the contrast, both the good, the bad, the ugly. And I really want you to just consider it for a moment, because we're in this really beautiful place right now. And, whether you're happy to jump into September or whether you're, a little sad to see summer passing another year, I think we have this opportunity right now to see us through to the end of the year, to go into this second start, if you will, and really approach it in a way that feels not only easier, but that feels really helpful for you, that feels really juicy, and that feels like it's totally doable. That no matter what is being thrown at you, whether it's extracurricular activities, whether it's school schedules and homework, whether there's, deadlines looming at work, or just simply being in a place where you have to have more structure. Right now, here and now, is a place where we can make the choice and make the decision right here and right now that is going to be beautiful. It's going to be incredible, and it's going to work out and unfold beautifully, because we are going to let it. We are going to allow the unfoldment of September and the fall and heading into the beautiful rest of the year with that sense of, okay, this is good. But we're also going to get ourselves into a place where we're putting our routine first, where we're making this decision now that, you know what, the routine is really helpful for us and it's going to be supportive. And once I'm in that routine, things are going to really move forward in a way that's beautiful. So I say this now because we've got these three things, these three tips that I want to share. But I want you to kind of get into this place where you're like, hey, yes, I've got this sense of motivation. The willpower is here now, and now let's get into it. Let's take this time now to push ourselves into the routine so that we are into the groove. Because, once we're there, it's going to feel really great. And it's just the little bit of momentum that we need to get ourselves into the routine. So let's talk about these 3 tips. So planning ahead, getting into the right mindset, and remembering our why. Tip number 1, something that has really helped me, and it doesn't have to be hard, is the planning ahead. And like this is one of my all-time favorite things. I am a planner. So I feel like having a plan or planning ahead is kind of like that secret weapon, especially if you're a mom, especially if you're battling the chaos of just life and the juggle in general. Doing the small things ahead of time, like the night before or the week of, it can really make such a difference. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, hey, cool, Andryanna. Yeah, awesome. Sounds great. In theory, the plan ahead thing works, but in real life, it is just another thing on my never ending list of all of the to-dos. And I would love to plan ahead, but I can't find myself in a place where the ahead part actually factors in. I'm always just getting there 5 minutes too late. So, okay, I hear you. I feel you. I've been there. I want to just share a quick piece of research. Harvard Business Review. They show that when we are able to invest a little bit of time, when we plan ahead, we are reducing our decision fatigue. Oh, the decision fatigue of being a parent. It allows us to save our mental energy for the more important tasks throughout the day. So when you think of it this way, this mind hack, if you will, okay, if I can spend 10, 15 minutes to put a few things in place now, I'm going to have more capacity. I'm going to have more energy. The mental load will not feel as heavy. And I'm going to actually have more time because I am investing, say, that 10 or 15 minutes the night before to pick out clothes, to pack lunches. Let me tell you, my friend, I started this new routine last year where I would pre-program my coffee the night before. I mean, it's so simple. Like, this is not a big thing. This is like a 2-minute task. But I know I've shared this before. It is like this miracle of miracles, because just knowing that the coffee is ready in the morning, again, whether it's you take the 2 minutes in the evening or 2 minutes in the morning, it's 2 minutes, but it feels so much lighter because I wake up and my alarm goes off. And then a couple of minutes later, because, I'm like, da, 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 should I get out of bed? Should I not? Then I hear the little beep of the coffee maker and I'm like, oh, the coffee's ready. It's ready. This is a new day and I'm already prepared. I'm already hitting the ground. I'm not running because I haven't had my coffee, but I'm motivated because I know that there's a fresh cup of coffee waiting for me first thing in the morning. So for you, what is it that can make your life a little easier? Create, perhaps it's a to-do list the night before, or when your work day is ending. Instead of getting to your desk the next morning and feeling like, okay, now what? Where am I going? What am I doing? What's the plan? Maybe jot down a couple notes at the end of the day so you can remember it when you get to your desk the next morning. You're like, okay, there's a plan in place. We're good. Or you have that visual representation for yourself and for your family. So there is that routine in the evening. So okay, my kids are picking out their clothes. Get the family involved. This is not just about you doing everything. Have them pick out their clothes, especially if you have someone in your family who's a little pickier, who's fighting you on what they're going to wear. Have them choose the night before. Have the lunches packed. Again, this is one of those things that I go back and forth. What should I do? What should I do? Lunch is being made the night before. I know I'm kind of tired. I'm cleaning up after dinner. I'd love to just sit down and chill. Take that 10 minutes to give yourself a head start the next day. I promise you, You're going to love your future self for it. You're going to be so grateful for it. And as you do it, you're creating this routine. So then it's just you get into it. You know that after dinner, you load the dishwasher, you pack the lunches, and it's done. Or perhaps you want to get into a routine where you are moving your body in the morning. Okay, what's going to make it feel easier? We're going to plan ahead. We're going to put out our clothes for our workout. We're actually going to lay out our yoga mat on the floor the night before. We're going to put our running shoes in place, or maybe we're going to grab the AirPods, put them, make that playlist, or choose the podcast we want to listen to the night before, so that, hey, you're already started when it comes to actually going about and doing that routine. Something that's been really helpful for my family is having that visual representation. And this is really great for all families. The routine, the predictability, even if it's extremely simple, is going to be helpful for your kids just as much as it is for you. So the visual chart, it provides that clear, that step-by-step guide that reduces anxiety, fosters independence, and according to a study published in the Journal of Applied Behavior, visual signals significantly improve task completion in our children. So I've done this for you. You can do it too, depending on what your routines are. But at the end of the summer, I dove into Canva. I created a morning routine, after school routine, and bedtime routine, 3 different tasks charts for my kids. They're not complicated. It's simply, we wake up, we eat breakfast. There's a little picture of someone eating. We're getting dressed, picture of someone with their clothes. The 5, 4, 5, 6 steps that is really going to make it predictable for your children, easier for your children, and easier for you. You're saving yourself just that mental capacity, the few minutes of reminding your kids or having to tell them what to do. And then it's all there, and they can feel safe and secure and independent knowing that they're doing it themselves. So I created this in Canva. I printed it. I had it laminated at Staples. So actually, when I went to get my kids their back to school stuff, I just picked it up there. How could I make it more easy? You might have access to a printer or a laminator. If not, use your iPad or your phone. Have the visual representation there. Heck, write it out on a scrap piece of paper. It does not have to be fancy. But if you want to use the charts that I created for my kids, it has been super helpful so far. Of course, I've included the link in the notes for this podcast episode. I want you to have it for free. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to help yourself and your kids get back into these routines so you have a plan in place. The steps are there. The visual cues are there, so you don't have to do anything further. So step 1, you're going to plan ahead. How do we feel so far? So far, so good, right? We kind of know this. But sometimes just reminding ourselves of like, okay, yeah, when there's the plan and when I plan ahead, it feels so much easier. It makes it so much better. Step number 2, when it comes to actually getting and easing our way back into the routine, step number 2 is the mindset piece. It's what I like to call getting into the spirit of it. And there's a great essay by Thomas Troward, I believe, called Getting into the Spirit of It. But this is where we have our plan, but it's actually about getting ourselves and our family and maybe we're leading a team. How do we actually go about wanting to follow this plan and get into the routine? It's the mindset piece. This is where the magic happens, and mentally preparing ourselves for the routine. Honestly, the mental part, this mental preparation is just as important as the routine itself. Okay. And so just go with me here. Maybe it sounds woo-woo to you to work on your mindset of getting into routine, but hear me out. Fun fact, studies from the National Institute of Health have shown that this mindset piece of visualization and using positive affirmations can actually rewire our brain to perform better under stress. Okay, so we're actually creating these new neural pathways in our brain so that when we are butting up against, do I hit snooze or do I move forward? Or do I make the lunches or do I just climb into bed? Whatever it is, we're creating these pathways in our brain to make it feel easier, to make it feel better, to propel ourselves and motivate ourselves to actually follow through with the routine that we want to put in place. So taking a few moments, maybe it's in the morning, maybe it's visualizing when you wake up, everything going smoothly. Maybe it's having that affirmation or writing it out in a journal or slapping it on your bathroom mirror that everything is working out for me, or that moment before your day gets into high gear, just taking that pause to remember and feel why you're doing it. So here's a little tip. You can start your day off with the affirmation, something simple like today's going to be a great day. Or maybe you want to remind yourself that I am calm, I am present, I am on time. We are going to have a beautiful day. We're going to make it out the door on time. That can set such a positive tone for everyone. And you can do this at different parts of the day. Maybe your afternoons are hectic. Maybe there's a lot going on at work, or maybe the after school routine and getting the kids home and off to the races to hockey or whatever that extracurricular is can feel challenging. So right before that begins, you're going to get into the spirit of it, right? You're going to tell yourself why it's so great. And you can do this with the whole family. Create that morning mantra or that bedtime mantra. Make it fun. Something like, we've got this, or today is going to be awesome. Help everyone feel more connected and ready to tackle their day. And maybe they're going to think it's silly at first, or maybe they're going to make fun of you, or maybe they're not on board right away. But even if they are pretending to be too cool, you are reaffirming that everything is going to work out, that it's going to be an awesome day, no matter what happens. And something I like to do with my kids is, we like to pump the jams, right? Sometimes we do this at home. If it's like the kids are on each other, or, we're just feeling a little grouchy, sometimes I crank a song in the middle of the kitchen. Maybe they're not happy with it at first, but the sillier I act, the more I say, I'm switching up the vibes for myself, on the way to school. Sometimes that can feel a little hectic, just getting into the car and getting everyone buckled in, and everyone's got their school bag and is dressed and all these things. Put on that song. It's a calming song. Maybe you guys all need to take a few minutes to just chill and get into the spirit of like a calm and peaceful day. Maybe you need to pump some jock jams. Whatever it is that's going to work for you, think about how you can really work on the mindset of getting into the spirit of that routine. And so that is tip number 2, get into the spirit of it and that mindset part of it all. What do we have? What do we have next? Number 3, and this is something that we can come back to as often as we need to, especially when we feel like, oh, this routine, maybe it's too hard. Maybe I've bit off too much, more than I can chew, and it feels hard and I don't want to do it. We're going to come back and remember our why. Let's talk about the why behind these routines, right? Like, why are we doing this? And this is kind of when we're talking about at the beginning of this episode. So remembering how it feels to be in the routine, remembering the why behind it all and the purpose for why we actually want to take these steps now, this push now, so that we can move into the smooth sailing part of the routine. So when your alarm goes off at whatever feels like that ungodly hour, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you're tempted to hit snooze, not once, not twice, it's 3 times. You're going to come back to your why and remember the importance of why the heck you're doing this in the first place, why you want to be in your routine. Or when it comes to the moment of truth, when you can either put on your shoes and take that walk, or get into that car and drive to that class, you're going to come back to the purpose. If it's to create a smoother day, to feel better in your body, to have more energy, to ensure that your kids feel secure and prepared, or just to avoid the mad dash and the feeling of chaos and the craziness, your why is what keeps you going. And there's actually science behind this too. I mean, I'm not just here spewing out my tips because it only works for me. There's research from the University of Rochester that suggests that having a clear sense of purpose and understanding your motivations, the reason, can increase your overall well-being and your satisfaction with life, with all of life, my friends. So here we go. Why? Here's the tip. So share your why. You're going to write it down. Maybe your affirmation in the morning on your bathroom mirror is going to also have your why taped to it, right next to it. Or maybe you're going to sit down at the dinner table and you're going to explain to your kids, okay, we're introducing these visual charts, and here is why. It could be as simple as wanting to have more time to relax in the evenings, right? Like, why am I making lunches right now when I feel tired? Oh, that's right. I'm going to have more time in the morning to actually have a few sips of a hot coffee. I'm not going to feel like a basket case ripping around in my robe, screaming at the top of my lungs to try to get everything done, because there's a plan. So have your kids, have your spouse, have your family members talk about this. What do they love about being organized? And what do they love about having a routine? And perhaps you can remind them of a time when things were really in flow. Why would it matter to them as well? And it can be fun. You can get creative with it. You can draw pictures. It can be as simple as just having a quick chat while you're driving to soccer or baseball or football or wherever you're going. So remembering the reason, that can be that final nudge, that tiny little piece when the willpower runs out, when you don't want to do whatever it is that's helping you get into the routine. Remembering this piece, and make it as simple as possible so that you can remember it. Coming back to the why can be that tiny little nudge that you need to propel yourself into the free flow, into the beauty of the routine, into the spirit and the momentum that you need. So tip number 3, remember your why. And so there you have it. 3 simple, yet I think pretty powerful ways, now that we're in September, to ease back into it, to get back into the routines, whether it's a back to school routine, whether it's an exercise routine, a routine at work, a routine for your self-care, for your well-being, something that's going to help you get back into it, feeling good, feeling like it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to, push you over the brink, over the edge. So my friend, it is all about planning, getting into the right mindset, and keeping that why in focus, front and center, so that you can get into that routine. And before I wrap up, I want to remind you, I'm sharing these things with you, but I don't want you to have to do it alone. If you're looking for more support, more ideas for how to juggle all the things, please make sure that you are subscribed to this podcast. The Juggle is Real is here. We've got so many beautiful episodes coming up this fall to help us dive deeper into these topics, like our routines, like the things that can make our lives a little easier and help us tap into more ease, more joy, for having more fun as we move through our busy days. And if you think that there's someone who could benefit from hearing this, I urge you, I beg you, I plead with you, share it with them, do them a favor, help them get into the routines. Maybe it's someone that you want to be running with, your running partner. Make it easier on them, help them as well. And please, please, please rate this episode. Write me a short and sweet review on Apple Podcasts. Help other people find it. And don't forget, I've got that free morning, after school, and bedtime routine task charts. Help keep your family on track this year. I know you've got this. Let's make this school year, let's make this fall our best one yet. And let's do it with a lot of grace and the right intention and the right mindset behind it. So until the next episode of The Juggle is Real, I send you all of my love. Take good care.